Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with jazz guitar phenom Andreas Varady. He is born of Hungarian Gypsy descent and began to explore sharing his talents when his family moved to Ireland in 2007. His latest sophomore album is The Quest, and producer Quincy Jones loves it. To give you an idea of his future, in 2011, at 13 years old, he became the youngest headlining artist at Ronnie Scott's Jazz Club in London. The future is on the up and up always for him. So get to know him and dig this interview, my friends.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Andreas.
Hey, man.
Joe Domino, Neon Jazz. How are you, sir?
I'm good. All good.
Right on. Hey, thanks for taking a minute out.
Sure, no problem.
So, where are you in the world right now?
I'm in Ireland.
Right on. Well, hey, thanks again for taking a minute out. I really appreciate you taking a minute to talk about The Quest and your life and music. Thank you.
Cool, no problem.
So let's start off with The Quest. I think it's safe to say if your liner notes have a quote from Quincy Jones, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have that.
Talk to me about this album. How do you feel? It's your second album. It's getting great reviews. It's doing very well. How do you feel about it?
It feels great. It feels like my real first album, because the previous one wasn't really my style of music, but it was a certain project we did, with a different group of people. But this is my proper, my first album, my music, the style of music I play and stuff. And but it feels great. It feels amazing to record your own music your own way, and to have done everything and set up everything and arrange everything, and it feels nice to you get nice reviews of it afterwards as well and stuff. So but it feels great.
So you're in Ireland right now. You're obviously doing well. You're touring. Talk to me about where you're at right now. What are you doing, and kind of what's going on as far as activity with you?
Well, we're working on concerts and different things and gigs, and obviously in June 27th I'll be playing at the O2 Arena with Q, and then on 28th I'm playing Ronnie's, and then in London again. And then, there's other things that are still in progress that are going to work out, and, different tours here and there, US, and then, some stuff in Europe, of course, and stuff. But we're working on stuff, to do more gigs and stuff like that. So yeah, and different, also, different music and stuff like that, working and writing other stuff as well. So yeah, working on everything right now. Keep you busy and stuff.
Beautiful. So you were born of Hungarian Gypsy descent, raised in a small town in Slovakia, learned to play the guitar at 4, tutored by your father. Talk to me about your childhood and how you fell in love with music.
Well, originally, actually, I was born in Slovakia, and I just speak Hungarian language because we lived very close to the border. But I'm not Hungarian. I'm Slovakian, but I do speak Hungarian and stuff. So and understand the culture and stuff like that. But yeah, basically music. I grew up in very musical family, and music was always being played, or my dad played or something like that. So it's it's always was around. So even ever since I was born, I was listening to music and stuff, and I was around jazz and hip hop and all this different types of music. And yeah, and I really loved the way my dad played and all that stuff, and I just always was attracted to the guitar, and yeah, and I listened to this Benson record, and I just really loved it, and I loved the vibe and stuff. So I just wanted to play guitar and do that as well. Not in mind at the time to do it in a professional way. I knew I wanted to be a guitar player, but I mean, I just wanted to play music and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's really a bet, like playing with my dad and my dad playing, and then like listening to a lot of music as a kid, and then I was like, oh, I want to play jazz and all that stuff as well. But it wasn't. You see, jazz wasn't something I like discovered. Like it was like later, as in it was always around. So it was kind of like natural to me almost, and to everyone in my family. Really, it's kind of like it's kind of like oh, it's always been there. We always love jazz and stuff. So, but yeah.
Talk to me about where you've lived in your life and where you're living right now.
Obviously, Slovakia, like in a small town. Um, from there to Ireland, and then from Ireland I lived in Germany for a little bit, for like 8 months with the family, and then we're back to Ireland, and then I was in Slovakia for like 2 months. That was during the time when I recorded my album. But obviously then I'm back here, But that was mostly just for recording and stuff. But yeah, it's like Ireland is where where I lived for the past 10 years. It's like it's my home here. So.
What's the jazz scene like in Ireland? Is there a real culture, a good embracing of jazz?
Music scene is good. Like the music, they love music here, of course. But jazz, not that they do love it, but there's just not much of it. There's I know all the like the good musicians and stuff like that. But it's not like like London or New York or something like that. It's like it's very it's just very kind of quiet as far as jazz goes. I mean, you have Cork Jazz Festival, which is pretty big, and then you have Derry Jazz Festival and some different things, but not necessarily. It's not like nothing crazy, but then again, it's kind of like London's like 50 minutes away, so for anything, if I ever wanted to check out a gig or something like that, there is gigs here though, like Kurt and Winkle and like many other played like recently. So, but as far as the scene, like a lot of musicians and stuff, I wouldn't say much musicians. I know the people that are the good ones, like the really good musicians. And then like other than that, there's like not much, like as in like musicians and much of a scene. But you see people mostly kind of, since London is so close, it's like 50 minutes away, as I said, and it costs like 40 euros to go there and back. It's kind of like, people generally go there and stuff if they want to or whatever. But yeah, I guess it's just like, it's just like everywhere else in Europe, to be honest. Like, I mean, obviously, like, Italy's, maybe Spain and France, they have like more jazz festivals and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, nowhere really is like New York or London. So it's just like anywhere else in Europe is just like average, nothing crazy. But it's fine. Like it's okay.
Talk to me about the United States. Have you played some shows here?
Oh yeah, I've played like a couple of times. Yeah, not yet as far as with the Quest, but we have some stuff in plan. Like I'm not really sure exactly what it was, but there's some stuff in plan for sure. Oh yeah, I played the Jazz Standard a couple of years ago, and then I played like a couple. You see, I was on tour with Benson as well, George Benson, and we did some different things. Like I think it was called Wolf Trap or something like that in Washington, I think. Anyways, and then like some other things, and played in New Jersey and LA, the Broad Stage, and a bunch of other things. But I love going to the U.S. It's fun to tour there. Going to the city. Like New York would be like my second favorite city. Apart from like Ireland near the country, then definitely like New York would be my second favorite for sure. But like yeah, I love going to New York and checking the city out and stuff, and then yeah, like as far as touring, it's always a lot of fun, because it's like it's different vibes and different atmosphere to Europe, so it's always interesting, it's different food and stuff, checking out different stuff. But yeah, but I've been going there since I'm like 12, so like, like New York, I go there like generally like at least 3-4 times a year, so, for different reasons and stuff. So I guess that's where I go the most, mostly East Coast, but as far as the West Coast, I love LA as well. It's a cool city, and I haven't been to like San Francisco, anything like that. But I've been to like Vegas, and that was fun as well. But yeah, definitely like I love going. I love touring in the U.S. It's so much fun. Like different things, different foods. There's like all the fast food chains that we don't have in Europe. They're nice to try and stuff.
So it must be really a thrill, to put it mildly, to have grown up idolizing George Benson, then to play with him. What have you learned from that relationship?
You see, when we met, it was very different to how I imagined I would have met him, because I imagined I would have met him as he has no idea who I am, and I'm just like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. You know, you're one of my heroes, and you know, we would have talked, and I would have left. But I actually loved the way we met. The way it was different, because he met me like knowing about me already, and it was different. So it's more of a friendship rather than a fan thing. Do you get me? And it's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of nice, you know, to have a more of a friendship type of relationship rather than I'm a fan and it's like, oh, it's an honor to meet you and all that. Obviously, it was still an honor to meet him, but yeah, it was amazing, and really nice guy. And we talked about some stuff. We got some food and stuff together, and yeah, I jammed a little bit. Yeah, he's cool. He's very chill, down to earth guy. Kind of like he is way much more down to earth than what his level of like fame and all that is, which is really nice, you know. But yeah, he's a cool guy. We just hung out, we played, and talked and stuff, and yeah, it was a good hang.
It seems to me as though your career continues to go on the rise. You know, there's more exposure, there's more praise, there's more things going on. How do you feel about your career now that it continues to ramp up?
I definitely feel like it's, you know, like for example with the last album, obviously it was like so many things happening like quick like that, as in like, you know, like Quincy emails me to if I want to, that they want to manage me. I'm like, cool, let's do it, done. Then Verve wants to sign me, done. And it's like, you know, that was like a bunch of things that we recorded this album, blah, all this. But now it's like, it's kind of like I'm doing more of my, you know, like I'm doing more of my own music, you know, my own way. And, you know, it's more towards like who I am, and as in like what my music really is. And I'm building that up and building that up. So that's where I'm working at now, and just like also pushing my musical boundaries for myself, you know, and like writing different music and stuff, like, you know, based on different events in my life and, you know, how I feel at the time, and obviously recording that and then touring it and just building up. But I don't necessarily think of things like in a fame way, as in like, or not fame, but as in like, you know, like think about it as a, oh, like I want to be like this, or I want to be like that, or I want to be famous, or I want to. It's more about the music for me, you know. It's more about the musical progress, and obviously playing as well. It's nice to play and do all that stuff and recording and stuff, but it's more about musical progress for me. You know, that's what matters to be more. And obviously, of course, concerts and stuff like that, and recording and, you know, like different things. Yeah, I obviously that matter as well to me. But yeah, I'm really focused on the music now, and like to work on, you know, my vibes and stuff like that, and my sound, and just progressing like that, you know, to create an album that I'm really happy with, you know, something like that.
Let me ask you this. What live jazz shows have you witnessed that really made an impact on you?
Actually, you know what's crazy? I haven't been to many live shows in my life. Like, I actually don't know why. Because sometimes, like, obviously, I be on tour and doing different things like that, or I'm doing some stuff, but I haven't checked out anything. But I'm not really sure, actually, because I haven't seen many live shows. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there haven't been many. Like, obviously, I saw Benson when we were touring, but I guess, you know, that does, I don't know if that counts. But live shows, I do remember seeing in New Jersey. It's the Jazz Messengers band. that was pretty amazing. You're so swinging. Like, these guys are like veterans, but that was a pretty killer concert. I loved that. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And there's probably so many more, but I just can't think of them right now.
That's a good answer right there. Let me ask you this, generically. Why do you love jazz?
Why do I love jazz? It's just the music, in my opinion, that I can most express myself in. It's the music that really is like me, you know, as also personality-wise and stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know, like, no other than hip-hop, no other music makes me feel exactly the same way, you know. It's just like, there's something about it. It's just, ever since a kid, I've always loved it. And it's like, you know, like the creativity of people improvising, the music, it's just so, I don't know, it's just the way it makes me feel. And, you know, how you express yourself and how you hear other people express themselves by, you know, soloing. It's like their own way and their own touch to it. And just you know, just, it's really exciting. It's really also, I don't know what's the word to say, but like, it's really, I don't know, I just like the energy and the vibes of it, and just everything about it is killer. It's ballsy, you know. It's like, I don't know, that's just what I think of it, you know.
I dig, yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this. Everyone has a perception of you, your family, your friends, your fans, but you're running the show for yourself. Who do you think you are?
I think I'm like, you know, like a creative person, obviously. I don't know, I feel like my music and what I play and the music I write and the different songs I'm writing and tunes I write, it's basically something that I want to do. I like, there's no boundaries that, like, you know, it's very true and it's like very natural, and you know, that's just what I want to play, and for other people to hear, and to hear that my way of doing it with what I've been inspired, you know, like I've been inspired by, like, so many different genres, everything, just life in general, like from, you know, hip hop to R&B to Radiohead to everything to all that jazz. It's like, it's just basically getting to hear what my life is like and what everything is. But I'm generally just a really creative person. It's almost like not just music would be the only way I express it. You know, I'm into like a lot of other things, like you know, like there's just a bunch of other things, you know, and like even the artwork of like albums and stuff like that, or just whatever different sort of artwork and stuff like that I'm into as well. But I just feel like I'm a creative person, you know, that I feel like there's a uniqueness about me in a way that not a lot of people have this type of personality that I would have, as in, you know, like, I'm into so many different things. It's almost like I'm kind of like your average guy. Not your average guy, but I'm kind of like, you wouldn't think I'm a jazz musician when you meet me, you know, because I'm into like video games, I'm into sports, I'm into, you know, generally if you meet, you know, you know, they have their own different way, but they're either into like, you know, some different art and stuff like that. But like, you know, I'm into like a lot of different things, from sports to video games to different types of music, from to fashion to all this stuff. So it's kind of like, you know, all that plus on top of that playing jazz, and it's kind of like expressing that into my music. And you know, but I just feel like I'm just kind of like a creative type person that just brings a lot of cool stuff into the world for people to see, that maybe if they have it in their mind to create that, but they can't, or they don't have, I can create it, or I try to come close to it, or maybe try to kind of do something that they can relate to. And you know, kind of, because I love that feeling of when I find music, I'm just like, whoa, I didn't know, I just thought this was in my head, or I thought no one really does this, and then I find it, I'm like, whoa, that's, you know, that's awesome, the way that actually people are like that, like making that type of stuff as well, you know. So
That's great. That's a great answer. That's a great way, too, to wrap everything up. Andreas, thank you for your music. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you opening up with Neon Jazz.
no problem.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to yet another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in San Jose, Ireland, Hungary, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Andreas for his time, his music, and his stories. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com. And for everything Neon Jazz, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.